What do you think could have caused this to happen? I mean, is human error the most likely explanation at this point, or is it too soon to tell?
Yeah, I believe that it is human error. Listening to the reporters and what I've been reading today, it sounds that initially the ferry left about 2 hours later than usual due to a heavy fog. So there's a possibility that the captain may have been trying to make up time to stay on his schedule, and he may have taken a shorter route. And again, getting off his prescribed route that he did, his voyage plan, and sounds like he hit a submerged object, which caused a gash in the hull, which would allow a lot of ingress of water.
When you hear that some passengers or passengers were told to stay where they were, that to not get up, to not seek lifeboats, does that make sense to you?
No, that makes completely no sense to me. The first thing you ever want to do when you have a marine casualty is the preservation of life. That comes first, and to evacuate those passengers, a large amount of people on board, that's the predominant thing that you want to do. You want to get those people out of the ship, out of the danger, into the open spaces so they can get to the life rafts and get off the vessel. One of the interesting things I noticed about the pictures that I've been looking at, it doesn't even look like one of the life rafts was even deployed. They're all still in their cradles, and nothing has been deployed, which would go back to the training of the crew. How well was this crew trained? Were they trained? And how often did they have their training drills? So we need to be looking at that to see what kind of training they did. It sounds like it was chaotic and definitely devastating.
So, I mean, obviously this makes us all think, okay, what would we do in this situation? What do you recommend somebody does in this situation? You're a passenger on a ship like this. Obviously you get a life preserver, which I guess they were instructed to do, but then what, you go to open spaces?
Absolutely. Move to an open area where if the vessel does capsize quickly, like this one seems to have done, then you can be evacuated off the vessel. You know, staying down in the lower holds of the ship when she's rolling over, you should not be doing that. You need to get out, because once the ship goes over on the side, you have no lights, and all the doors are going to be on the wrong side. You're going to need to get underneath that water, and with the buoyancy of a life jacket, you're not going to be able to do it. So we need to make sure that everybody egresses off the vessel and evacuates as quickly as possible to where their station is, to their life-saving station.
If you do jump in the water, is it true that you should get as far away from the ship as as far away from the ship as possible, that a ship sinking can kind of suck people down who are in the water?
Well, that does occur. You want to get away from the vessel without a doubt. You want to get as far away as possible. But, you know, with the cold water, you got to think twice about getting in the cold water. The thing to do was to get to those life rafts. There were plenty of life rafts on that vessel that could have been launched, and people could have got into those life rafts. It also sounds like there were plenty of small boats in the area that could have assisted with the evacuation of these passengers. So, you know, this all gets back to the training and in human error. We need to look at the decision making that's going on with the crew.